welcome to another episode of Coming Up Milhouse. Today we are talking about Season 4, Episode 4, Lisa the Beauty Queen.
Oh yes, Lisa the Beauty Queen. So there is a carnival at school, and Lisa gets a caricature drawn of her, but it's not very flattering. She doesn't like how it looks, and it gives her some self-conscious, low self-esteem thoughts.
Absolutely.
So Homer decides that he's going to fix this by entering her into the Little Miss Springfield pageant.
Beauty pageant.
Beauty pageant,
Because
yeah.
that's what every girl wants when they have low self-esteem.
Yeah, because that's going to magically fix everything.
Yes.
And, it doesn't go over well at first, but, she comes around. Some funny stuff comes out of the whole thing.
She actually comes around because Bart is really supportive of it, which is a good big brother thing.
Mm-hmm.
And a light of Bart that we don't see very often. So.
Absolutely. Good stuff, though. I liked it. So why don't we kick it off with your first line?
My first line is, if I could gouge out somebody else's eyes and shove them into my own eye sockets, I would. And that's Homer, because Marge accuses him of not being biased enough. He's looking at Lisa's beauty with a father's eyes and not considering that other people might have differing opinions.
But that's his reply. If I could gouge my eyes.
He would. He would shove someone else's eyes into his eye sockets.
Sounds reasonable to me.
So that was my first line. What about you?
Alright, so my first line is a little bit of an exchange. It starts with Homer saying, "Barney, where did you get all the money?" And Barney says, "From some scientists. Ever since they outlawed testing on animals, a guy like me can really clean up."
And then his head's shaved and he has wires coming out of the back of his head.
So Homer wins a Duff Blimp ride, but you need $250 to enter into the pageant. So Homer offers to sell the ticket to Barney, and that was the exchange.
And that's a really good deal, because I would definitely pay $250 or more, and people have spent more.
I've actually been to auctions where blimp rides go for some big bucks, so $250 is not a bad price.
No. So, but Homer sold his dream blimp ride to help Lisa out in a way that he thought would help her out.
What about you?
Oh. This is an exchange, and I have to go with it because it was just kind of funny. And so Lisa gets a makeover, and she's walking through the school, and there are two boys, and one of them is Ralph sitting at a table, and one boy says, "That chewing gum walk," and Ralph says, "Very wriggly," which made me laugh.
Coming from Ralph.
I know. And so Wrigley's chewing gum, that chewing gum walk. It just was a funny little exchange there.
I liked it. Very good.
I also have to throw this one in there because this was another line. That was an exchange. That was my favorite exchange of the episode. My second favorite line is, "A new trend that's sweeping the nation, wasting food."
I guess there's a turkey in the thing and then pours a
gallon of milk on top of it. That was on the news.
Oh, man. I love it.
What's your second
line?
line?
Alright, my second line is, "Hey there, blimpy boy, flying through the sky so fancy free."
And imagine the pen is a pickle, because that was what Homer had when he was sadly singing his song.
So when he first gets the ticket and he's all on cloud nine, he's singing that song like it's great. And then, Marge is like, "Now, Lisa, you know what your dad had to give up in order for you to get in this pageant?" And it cuts to him, and that's what he's doing. He's singing the song all sad. To a pickle.
Do you have a third line or an extra line that you want to throw out there, since I kind of did three?
Yeah, let me think. I'm going to go with Krusty says, when they have the pageant and they win, and there's like Little Miss Springfield, and he's singing every letter in Little Miss Springfield has like L is for and I is for, and he goes, "L is for the losers that you leave in your wake," or something like that. And Lisa's standing there because she got runner-up.
I'm just about to
And then he's like, eyes for your eyes. I don't know whatever it was.
Right.
But he's reading Little Miss Springfield. He's going to have a different word represent.
T is for your teeth, all shiny and sweet.
Yeah.
T is for your teeth, all shiny and sweet. It's a really dumb song,
It's so
actually.
ridiculous. But L is
yeah.
for the losers that you leave in your way.
Yeah.
There you go. There's
That's
my
your
third
bonus.
one.
Okay.
Yep. All right. What about C's? What's your C?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Where do I start? I'm just gonna go with at the very, very beginning of this episode at the carnival, Skinner is throwing the school carnival, and these three attorneys come up to him, and they have briefcases, and the banner above the school says, school carnival, the happiest place on earth, which is copyright of Disney, and these lawyers are after his butt and want to sue him because he cannot claim that this is the happiest place on earth. Well, it's a fantastic scene because Skinner, his temper rises, and he was like, I'm not listening to you, and you just have upset a former Green Beret. And he takes a briefcase and whacks the one guy in the head and knocks the other guy out.
Yeah.
And then picks up another briefcase when the third guy takes off running and just launches
Beans
it,
him.
and it lands on his head and knocks it out. So
He just
Going
beats
for
them down.
It was
is
great.
so good. That was the first thing to kick the episode off.
yeah,
It is so funny. I loved it.
it's great.
Yeah, it was a great scene.
The
Great
carnival scene's pretty great though too. So
scene. The whole of it.
that
Yeah,
whole, yeah.
yeah. I am going to go with a little bit later in the episode, and Lisa actually becomes the queen because the first one couldn't fulfill her duties because she got hit with lightning
Yep.
in her
Because the
tiara.
scepter is metal in a storm.
Yeah. And so she's at a football game, and Lisa being Lisa, she has to talk about something controversial and how football takes away money from education and the arts. And there's these four nerds in the stands, and they go, "Really? Is that true? Let's get them!" And they start charging the football players in the field, and the football players are like, "Oh no, let's get out of here!" And they go running, and these nerds are chasing.
I know.
They're like, we're gonna get you. And their football guys are running from
They
them.
run, and then
Insane.
following that, the newspaper heading the next morning is nerds get trampled in football melee or something like that, and it just made me laugh even harder. So
Oh man.
they're so clever on this show.
It's so funny. It's so good. I love it. All right, that takes us to winners and losers. How do you want to do
Let's
that?
go with our losers first.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right, my loser is Willie. Because, again, at the beginning of the episode at the carnival, no one was buying his haggis. And he looked pretty sad. He's like, haggis,
trying
50
to
cents.
Really sell it.
50 cents, man. We got sheepskin and intestines or whatever the heck is in that stuff.
Yep.
Couldn't sell it. Sorry, Willie. What do you got for loser?
I went with the school because they're having a school carnival to raise funds for the school, and then during the carnival, Bart dares Otto to speed up the ride that has the rockets on it, and one of the rockets launches off of the ride and basically bombs into the school and demolishes part of the school. So any money that they raised, I don't think is going to be enough to fix that problem, let alone...
Right, whatever they were trying to accomplish is pretty much null and void. Love it.
And Otto fled to Mexico.
Like, I'm gonna go to Mexico till this all boils over. You gotta love Otto. Come on, man. He's the best. Alright, what about your winner?
My winner are three bullies in this episode because during the beauty pageant, Apu and his brother are at the pageant instead of manning the Quickie Mart, and they didn't leave anyone behind this time. And
They
so
didn't leave Samji there with the shotgun, man. Yeah.
So the bullies, Jimbo and crew, are wheeling out the squishy machine, And I think they're the winners of this episode because they probably took more than just the squishy machine, but the fact that they took the squishy machine.
They got squishies for life now, probably. Alright, good.
What about your winner?
Mine is Bart, because he learned how to scam the ice cream lady. So Homer gives him this advice about, it's like, you gotta give, the ladies compliments and they'll do for you. And so Bart puts this to good use, and he goes to the ice cream place. He's got this little cup, and this little sample
like
cup.
A Dixie cup.
Yeah,
right?
and the ice cream lady's like, "Are you done yet?" And all surly, and he's like, "How can somebody as thin as you work at an ice cream place? How do you keep your thin figure?" or something like that. And the ice cream lady completely turns her attitude around, and she's like, "Oh, I misjudged you," and lays this big, huge sundae down, like the size of a bucket. And Bart's like, hey, and so, and then I also noted that ice cream lady was one of the judges at the beauty pageant.
Yep.
So that all came full circle for me, so that's why I went with that.
That's pretty funny. Yep.
All right.
I know, that was Homer's only advice about women was to pay them some compliments, and so he puts that into practice when he tells Bart. And he compliments Lisa's new hairdo, and Bart compliments Marge, and then Marge says, "Oh, I know two gentlemen who are going to have a fancy good dinner tonight." And so that was the best advice.
Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Any other advice?" And Homer's like, "Nah, that's pretty much it." Oh, clever stuff as always on The Simpsons.
So that was season 4, episode 4, Lisa the Beauty Queen. And it has so many great lines and some other wonderful scenes. So feel free to share your favorites in the comments below. And give us a like if you liked the episode. And don't forget to subscribe with the subscribe button. Tell your friends all about how fun and silly this show is. We'd love to see more views on our screen. And until the next time,
Jiminy Chillikers!